Good morning Year 6 and welcome to today's maths lesson. We are carrying on with decimals again today. Let's start by having a look at the TT Rockstars leaderboard. Today's shout out goes to the children who have been the most accurate on TT Rockstars over the last 7 days. So I've given you all 2 dojo points. Well done Imogen, Luca, Bailey, Abigail and Amelia. Great stuff. Okay, your starter class today will be on fractions again, looking at the 4 operations and practicing those methods so that we feel really confident with them. If you'd like to time yourself and see if you can beat your time from yesterday, working out the answers to these questions, go and get a timer and get yourselves ready to start. Okay, let's begin. So your starter questions today are... There, you can pause the video, have a go. Right, welcome back. Let's go over the answers together then and make sure we're really confident with these methods. So when we divide fractions, we need to think of the keep, change, flip song that we learnt with Miss Rofer. So we keep the first fraction the same, 5/7, change the division sign to a multiplication. Then we flip our whole number, remember goes over 1 as a fraction, 4/1. We flip that upside down, 1/4, and then we can multiply our numerators, 5 times 1, then multiply our denominators, 7 times 8. So your answer should be 5/28. Well done if you got that right. Okay, 4b, we always need to check with addition and subtraction of fractions that our denominators are the same. In this case they are both over 8, so we can keep our denominator the same. We don't need to change any two equivalent fractions. Then we can just add our numerators. So that would be fine. An improper fraction answer, 10/8. You could have then converted it to a mixed number if you want to, but you don't have to, giving 1 2/8, or even simplify that to 1 1/4. Well done if you got that one right. Okay, multiplying fractions then. So multiply the numerators first of all. 2 times 4 is 8. Then we can multiply the denominators. Okay, we can do our 9 times 6 is 54. That would be absolutely fine as an answer, or you could look to simplify it and have 4/27. Then we've got another subtraction one here. The denominators are not the same, so we need to use our equivalence knowledge of fractions. So we can look for a common multiple, which would be 12. Okay, so I need to change this fraction denominator to 12. I've multiplied that by 3, so I multiply my numerator by 3 as well, giving me 9/12. Then I can keep my denominator the same and do my subtraction of my numerators. 9 take away 3, giving me 6/12, which I could have simplified to a half. Well done if you got that one right as well. Okay, so this lesson builds on what we learnt yesterday when we were multiplying by 10, 100 and 1,000. Today we're looking at dividing by 10, 100 and 1,000. So if you think back to yesterday, when we use place value as a method to do this, it can save us a lot of time, and it's really useful for when we are converting units of measurement, for example, converting between centimetres and metres, or grams and kilograms. So it's a really useful practical skill and it can save us lots of time. Vocabulary, same as yesterday, we are going to be talking about whole numbers like 17, decimal numbers like 17.5, which has a decimal point in the middle of them, and a certain number of decimal places. This example here has 3 decimal places because it's got 3 digits after the decimal point. Remember, a digit is just one of the parts of the number. Okay, so some vocabulary that we used yesterday will be used again today. Okay, so let's think about whole numbers first of all before we move on to decimals. How do we divide whole numbers by 10? So if we think about 210 divided by 10, we could use a bus stop method, but it wouldn't always be the quickest. We can use our place value knowledge and think about the numbers to do that as a mental method, and showing it on a place value chart can help us to visualise it. So 210 divided by 10. Pause the video, have a little think. Welcome back. So when you divide by 10, all the digits move one place to the right. Okay, so our answer would be 21. Since the digits have moved to the right, the 0 also moves place value. It does not just disappear. The 0 also moves to the right into the tenths column after the decimal point. So you could write the answer 21.0, but since there's nothing to show after the decimal point, we just don't write it. So we would normally give our answer as 21. Okay, so how do we divide whole numbers by 100 then? Think about your place value, think about what we learned yesterday. Have a think. Okay, welcome back. So we've got 2,100 divided by 100. So when we divide by 100, all of our digits move 2 places to the right. So our answer here would be 21. Okay, so divide by 100, the digits move 2 places to the right. Again, we don't need to write our zeros after the decimal point because they're not really showing any value. Okay, so what do you think happens when we divide whole numbers by 1,000 then? Have a think about this question, 21,000 divided by 100. Okay, well done if you have spotted the pattern, and when we divide by 1,000, all of the digits move 3 places to the right. Okay, giving us here 21. Okay, again, we don't need to show the zeros after the decimal point here because there is no value. Okay, so the trick to help you remember how many places the digits need to move is by looking at the zeros in 10, 100 and 1,000. If we divide by 10, 1 0 shows that we move the digits 1 place. But this time when we're dividing, we move the digits to the right because our number is getting smaller, so it's the opposite way to yesterday. When we divide by 100, 2 zeros shows that we move 2 places, and the 3 zeros in 1,000 shows that we move 3 places when we divide by 1,000. Okay, let's have a go then. See if you can pause the video and write down the answers to these questions. Off you go. Welcome back. Okay, so for the first one, we should have written down 4,200. We've moved the digits 1 place to the right. For the second one, we should have had 420. We've moved all the digits 2 places. And for the last one, the answer was 42. We've moved all the digits 3 places. How did you get on? Okay, let's have a look at some examples on a place value chart then. So this one, 210 divided by 10. We can see we have got that shown on a place value chart with the digits underneath and the 0 in the ones column to represent the fact that there are no ones. Okay, so when we divide a number by 10, our counters move 1 place to the right. So let's move all of our counters 1 place. Well, we haven't got any ones, so we can just ignore that one. But we can move the 110 and we can move the 200s. Okay, so we don't need to put a 0 after the decimal point. Okay, we can give our answer as 21. So when our number is divided by 10, the counters move 1 place to the right. Okay, let's have a look at this example and we can start seeing how it works with decimals. So we've got 210 divided by 100. So we've got 210 shown there on our place value chart, but this time we are going to move the digits, how many places? Well done, 2 places to the right. So let's move, ignore the 0 for now. We can move the 10 to the tenths column, 2 places. Then we can move the hundreds to the ones column. Okay, 2 places. And we can see that the decimal point stays in the same place. And our answer is then 2.1. We don't need to put 2.10 because the 0 in the hundredths column doesn't really show us anything. So our answer would be 2.1. So we've moved all of the digits 2 places to the right and kept the decimal point in the same place. Okay, let's have a look at this question. I want you to have a bit of a think about what's going to happen when we divide 210 by 1,000. Have a little think. Okay, let's have a look and see if you were right. So again, we are using our zeros to calculate how many places it's going to move. So 1,000 has 3 zeros. Our counters are going to move 3 places to the right. Okay, we don't need to show the 0 because it doesn't show a value here. We can move our 10 3 places to the hundredths column. The hundreds move to the tenths column, but our answer is not yet complete. Well done. If you notice, we need to put a placeholder 0 in the ones column column to show that our answer is 0.21. So we need to put a 0 there to show the place value of the tenths and the hundredths. Okay, 0.21. Okay, let's have a go at using some place value charts together to work out the answers. So you've got 3 questions here, 3 place value charts. You might like to draw the counters, or you might like to just put the digits in the right place. And remember to think about your decimal point and where it might be in your answer. And be careful with your zeros. Only put a 0 in if you need it as a placeholder. Okay, so have a go at those questions and write your answers down. Come back when you've finished. Okay, welcome back. So I've drawn on the counters for the first question and put the digits underneath so we can see really clearly our number 123 has a 100, 2 tens and 3 ones. Okay, so we're dividing by 10, so we're going to move the digits one place to the right. So move all of your digits. The decimal point stays in the same place, so I can see that my answer is 12.3. Well done if you got that one right. Okay, this time I'm going to divide by 100, so I need to move all the digits 2 places to the right because I've got 2 zeros here. Okay, so this is going to move 1, 2 places and end up in the hundredths column, 1, 2 places to the tenth column, 1, 2 places to the ones column. My decimal point needs to go in my answer, so my answer is 1.23. Well done if you got that one right. Okay, last question. Okay, this time we were dividing by 1000, which means we need to move the digits 3 places. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I cannot leave my answer like this. We had to realise that we can't leave the ones column empty here. I had to then put a 0 here to show that my answer is 0.123. Well done if you got that one right. Okay, so when we are dividing numbers by 10, 100 and 1000, we don't obviously want to draw out a place value chart all of the time. That's going to take us quite a while. So we can start thinking about using squares or using the columns of how we're writing to help us answer questions quite quickly. So 72 divided by 10, I've rewritten it here so I've got a bit of space. I want to think about my place value chart in my head. So I know I've got tens, I know I've got ones, and my decimal point would be here. Okay, and then if I want to move my numbers underneath, I can move my digits one place to the right because I'm dividing by 10, which has got 1 0. Keep my decimal point in the same place, and then I can very quickly work out that my answer is 7.2. Okay, let's have a go at another one. So here I've got 31.6 divided by 100 this time, 2 zeros here, so I'm going to move my digits 2 places to the right. I've written my decimal number here out so I can think about visualising the place value columns in my head. I'm moving all of the digits 1, 2 places this time, dividing by 100. My answer is not 316 because I've got to remember my decimal point is in the same place. And here I'm going to need a 0 placeholder. So my answer will be, I'm not sure I can fit it in there, 0.316. Okay, let's go at the last one. 7,604 divided by 1,000. 1, 2, 3 zeros, so I'm going to move all of my digits 3 places to the right. I've rewritten my number. Okay, so let's move my 7, 1, 2, 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. My decimal point would have been here after my ones column, so if that stays in the same place, I can see that it's going to be here. So my 7 is now in the ones column, then my decimal point, 7.604. That would be my answer. Right, let's have a go at a couple of questions involving decimals together. Can you have a try at these and write down the answers and then come back when you're ready to discuss it? Okay, welcome back. Let's see how you got on. So the first question, we need to move all the digits one place to the right. Okay, we should have had 1.6. The second question, move all the digits 2 places to the right. So we should have had 0.434. You needed that 0 to show the place value here. Okay, and last of all, 0.614. Everything's been moved 3 places to the right, and again you need that 0 before your decimal point to show your place value. Well done if you got those all right. Okay, just like we did yesterday, sometimes you might have a question where it's not asking you for the answer but asking you for a certain different missing value in the question. So if we have a look at this question, we can see that our answer is asking us what has this number been divided by to give you this. So you need to think, well, how many places have the digits been moved? So if we look at our hundreds column, our tens column and our ones column, we can compare it to our ones column, tenths, hundredths and thousandths column here, and we can see that each digit, if we think about just pick one digit maybe, think about moving it, we can see that they've all moved 3 places. So therefore my answer must have been divided by 1000. Okay, that's the missing value in that question. Of course, when you've got a question like this, I would always check it afterwards and think, okay, let's work out 332 divided by 1000 to check my answer. So don't forget to do that check at the end. Okay, why don't you have a go at these missing value questions? Pause the video while you write your answers down. Welcome back. Okay, so we should have divided the first one by 1000. We've moved everything 3 places. This one was divided by 100. Everything's moved 2 places. And this one was divided by 10. Everything's moved 1 place. Well done if you got all of those right. Okay, if you want a bit more practice with these fluency questions, can you go to this quiz here where you can have a go at dividing by 10, 100 and 1000, and you'll get the answers back straight away. So just head there if you want a little bit more practice on that. Okay, let's have a look at some sort of more reasoning problems together and see if we can think about how we might answer these types of questions where we have to think a little bit. So Alice and Kian are dividing numbers by 10, 100 and 1000. Alice says, I think that 3050 divided by 100 is 3.05. Kian says, I think that 3050 divided by 100 is 30.5. Okay, they've both got different answers. So who is correct? And give reasons for your answer. Think about what you would do, so work it out first of all, and then think about how you would explain your answer. Have a think. Welcome back. So when you work it out yourself, you can see that Kian is correct, but that's not enough as our answer. We need to say that Kian is correct and explain it a little bit. He is correct because he has moved the digits 2 places to the right. Alice, and this is where we prove that we know what we're talking about, Alice has divided by 1000. She has moved the digits 3 places. So we can show that in our answer by explaining what Alice did wrong. Okay, a different sort of question here. We've got a little riddle. Josh is thinking of a number. My number is between 10 and 30. When multiplied by 100, the number becomes 2155. What is Josh's number? Okay, so this is a sort of question where we need to work backwards a little bit and use our inverse knowledge. So we've got what the number becomes. So think about that first of all, 2155, and then work backwards to see what he started with. So it's multiplied by 100 to become this. So we want to use the inverse and divide it by 100 to find out what he had to start with. So have a go at doing that. 2155 divided by 100. So move the digits 2 places to the right. We can see that his answer is his number he started with was 21.55, which fits between 10 and 30. Okay, well done if you spotted that one. Okay, and finally, Dexter is solving the calculation 5,400 divided by 100. He says, I think the answer is 54.00. Is Dexter correct? And explain your reasoning. Have a think, what could you put for that sort of an answer? Okay, so I might write something like this. Dexter has correctly moved all of the digits 2 places to the right to divide by 100. His answer is correct, but he doesn't need the zeros after the decimal point. It would be better to write the answer as 54. So that was a bit of a trick question. He was actually correct. He's not put a wrong answer, but he could have written the answer as just 54 without the zeros. Okay, I'm going to show you your chilies to work through. You can pause the screen on the slides that you think you want to try. So you've got 4 questions for each chili, and I'll show you the answers at the end. So chili 1, question 1. Chili 1, question 2. Question 3. And question 4. Chili 2, question 1. Question 2. Question 3. And question 4. And chili 3, question 1. Question 2. Question 3. And question 4. Okay, I'm going to show you the answers now. Make sure you are ready for them and you can mark your own. Chili 1 answers. Chili 2. And chili 3 answers. Okay. Thank you for joining me for today's maths lesson. I hope you got on well with it. If you've got any questions or need any support, please email us at year6@frenchprimary.worcester.sch.uk. Have a good day and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.